I thought my girlfriend was cheating on me. The truth was so much worse. I need to get this off my chest because I've been going crazy for the past few weeks. My girlfriend Lena and I have been together for 3 years. We moved in together about 1.5 years ago to a small 2-bedroom in the Mission District. Split rent pretty evenly, even though I make a bit more as a cybersecurity engineer. She works in marketing for a small fashion company. Look, I'm not the jealous type. Never have been. In 3 years, I've never once checked her phone or questioned where she was. Lena's always been independent and driven, which is one of the things I love about her. She used to talk my ear off about her campaigns, showing me mock-ups and asking my opinion on color schemes I honestly knew nothing about. But lately, something's been off. Way off. It started about 2 months ago, small things at first. She'd wake up earlier than usual, like 6 a.m. instead of her normal 7:30, saying she wanted to start going to the gym before work. Great, right? Except she'd come home at the same time as always, around 6:30 p.m., no gym bag, not looking like she'd worked out. When I asked about it, she'd get vague. Oh, I just did some light cardio or just walked on the treadmill. Then came the late nights. 3-4 times a week, she'd text me around 5 p.m. saying she was grabbing dinner with coworkers. Before, she maybe did this once a month. Now it was constant. She'd come home around 10 p.m. claiming she'd been at some restaurant downtown, but she never seemed satisfied. No doggy bag, nothing. If anything, she seemed anxious, would go straight to the bedroom to change into comfortable clothes. The phone thing really got to me, though. Lena used to leave her phone lying around everywhere, on the couch, the kitchen counter, charging by the bed. Suddenly, it was glued to her hand. She'd get calls late at night and immediately walk out to the balcony to take them. When I'd ask who it was, she'd say just a friend or work stuff. At 11 p.m. on a Saturday, and here's the kicker, she put a passcode on her phone. In 3 years, she'd never had one. I only noticed because I went to use it to check the weather one morning. My phone was dead and couldn't get in. When I mentioned it later, she got defensive. I'm allowed to have privacy, Ryan. Of course she is, but it just didn't feel like her. It all felt wrong. I tried to talk to her about it. Really, I did. Hey, you doing okay? You seem stressed lately. She'd brush me off. I'm fine. Just busy with work. The second time I asked, she sighed heavily. Ryan, I'm handling it. The third time, she actually snapped at me. Can you stop hovering? I feel like I can't breathe. That hurt. I wasn't trying to smother her. I was worried. So yeah, I started thinking the worst. The classic signs were all there, right? Late nights, mysterious phone calls, emotional distance, new passcode. I felt sick thinking about it. Lena and I had talked about marriage. I'd been saving up for a ring. Then last week, I found something in her bag. I wasn't snooping. She'd asked me to grab her lip balm from her purse. But when I opened it, I saw a business card from a company I didn't recognize. It was tucked into a small envelope with what looked like an interview confirmation letter. My stomach dropped. Was she looking for a new job, or was this something else? The company was across town, the kind of trendy startup with a flashy website. I looked them up later. Tech industry, cool office space. The kind of place where a good-looking marketing coordinator might meet someone new. I started noticing other things. She'd been doing her makeup more carefully in the mornings. Not like she was trying to impress me, like she was trying to impress someone else. New perfume. She'd wear it even when she said she was just running to the grocery store. I felt like I was losing my mind. Part of me wanted to confront her, demand to know what was happening. But another part of me was terrified of what she might say. What if she admitted it? What if there really was someone else? So I'm here, asking strangers on the internet for advice. Am I crazy? Are these signs of cheating? And if they are, what the hell do I do about it? Edit. Thanks for all the responses so far. A lot of you are saying to just talk to her, and you're right. Some of you think she might be cheating or planning to leave. I honestly don't know which option scares me more. Update 1. Okay, so I didn't follow most of your advice about having a calm, rational conversation. Instead, I did something I'm not proud of. I tracked her. Not in a creepy, hire-a-pie way. We have find my iPhone set up for emergencies, and I checked where she was going during the day. I told myself I just needed to know if she was actually at her office or meeting someone else. What I found confused me even more. Monday. She left at 8 a.m. wearing her work blazer. But instead of going to her office on 3rd Street, her location showed her at a WeWork in Soma. She stayed there from 8:30 a.m. until 4 p.m., then moved to a Starbucks for 2 hours. She finally came home at 7 p.m. looking exhausted. "How was work?" I asked casually. "Fine, busy day." She went straight to the bedroom. Tuesday, different location. A building near City Hall. I Googled it, Job Bridge Career Services. Resume workshops and job placement. She was there from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., then the public library until 5 p.m. "Hey, what's that?" I asked, seeing a folder she quickly hid. "Just some paperwork." Wednesday, she spent the entire day at a Panera on Market Street, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. What kind of work requires sitting in a Panera for 9 hours? I was so confused. This didn't fit the cheating narrative I'd built in my head. Career centers, parking spaces. What the hell was going on? Wednesday night, I couldn't take it anymore. She was on her laptop at the kitchen table, and I walked over and just asked, "Are you looking for a new job?" The look on her face. I'll never forget it, pure panic, like I just caught her with her hand in the cookie jar. She slammed her laptop shut. That's none of your business." "None of my business. Lena, we live together. We've been together 3 years. If you're planning to leave your job, don't you think I should know?" She looked away, avoiding my eyes. "It's complicated, Ryan." "Complicated how? Just tell me what's going on." She stood up, grabbed her laptop, and walked to the bedroom. "I can't talk about this right now." I followed her. "Can't or won't?" "Both." She spun around, and there were tears in her eyes. "Just drop it, okay?" But I couldn't drop it. The next day, while she was in the shower, I looked at her laptop. It was open on the bed, still logged into her email. I saw her LinkedIn profile pulled up in one tab. The banner at the top said "Open to Work" with a green circle, listing her preferred job types: marketing coordinator, content strategist, digital marketing manager. My hands were shaking as I scrolled through her recent emails. Job applications. Dozens of them. Different companies, different positions. I saw emails to hiring managers with subject lines like "Following up on marketing coordinator position" and "Thank you for your time today." Marketing coordinator positions at companies I'd never heard of, content strategist roles at startups, even some internships that seemed way beneath her experience level. One application was for an entry-level social media coordinator position that paid $45K. She'd been making $65K. But worse than the applications were the rejection emails. "Thank you for your interest, but we've decided to move forward with other candidates." Over and over. Sometimes they were form letters, sometimes more personal. I could see the timestamps. Some of these interviews had happened on days when she'd told me she was working late on a campaign. The rejection emails kept coming, week after week. Then I saw the email thread with her friend Monica. The preview line read, "It's killing me having to lie to him about where I'm going every day." My throat went tight. I clicked it. Monica had written, "Lena, you need to tell Ryan about the job situation. He loves you. He's not going to judge you. It's been 6 weeks. How much longer can you keep this up, Lena? As long as it takes, not until I have something lined up." My throat went tight. I heard the shower turn off. I closed the laptop and left the room, my mind racing. That night I didn't say anything. Neither did she. We ate dinner in silence and she went to bed early. I stayed up until 2 a.m. trying to piece it together. She wasn't cheating, but she was definitely lying about something big. And whatever it was, it had to do with her job, or her lack of one. The next morning, Friday, I woke up determined to get answers. But when I came out of the bedroom, she was already gone. No note, nothing. I checked Find My iPhone. She was at another coffee shop across town. I texted her, "We need to talk tonight." 3 hours later, she replied, "Okay." That's where I left it. I don't know what she's going to tell me tonight, but I have a sinking feeling it's going to change everything. Update 2. I need to type this out while it's fresh because I'm still processing. Lena came home at 6:15. I was sitting on the couch, and the second I saw her face, I knew she'd been crying. Her eyes were red and puffy. She put down her bag and just stood there in the doorway. "I know you've been checking my location," she said quietly. "I'm not stupid." I didn't deny it. "I needed to know what was going on. You've been lying to me for weeks." "I know." Her voice broke. She walked over and sat down on the opposite end of the couch as far from me as possible. "You're right, I've been lying." I waited. "Ryan, I lost my job 7 weeks ago. Everything stopped." "What?" "They laid off half the marketing department. Budget cuts. I got the email on a Wednesday morning, had to pack my desk that same day." She was crying now, really crying. "I've been pretending to go to work every day because I didn't know how to tell you. 7 weeks. She'd been keeping this up for 7 freaking weeks. Why?" I couldn't understand. "Why would you lie about that?" "Because you're doing so well," she gestured wildly. "Your career is perfect, you're stable, you're successful, and I'm a failure. I couldn't even keep a basic marketing job. Do you know how humiliating that is?" "Lena, layoffs happen. It's not your fault, but it feels like my fault." She was almost shouting now. "Everyone on LinkedIn is posting about their new jobs and their promotions, and I can't even get a call back. I've applied to 63 positions, Ryan. 63. You want to know how many interviews I've gotten? 4. And I bombed all of them. I could see them writing me off in freaking real time." I moved closer to her, reaching for her hand, but she pulled away. "It's not. There's more." My stomach dropped again. What else could there be? "I'm in debt, bad debt." She was staring at her hands, fingers twisting together. "I have about $12,000 in student loans and credit card bills combined. Student loans are around $4,000, the rest is credit cards. When I was working, I was managing it fine, paying about $800 a month between everything. But now..." She pulled out her phone, opened her banking app, turned it toward me. I could see 3 credit card balances. Chase, $4,127, Capital One, $3,845, Discover, $2,016, and then her checking account balance, $347. I've been using my credit cards to pay minimums on other credit cards. Last month, I took a $500 cash advance from Capital One to make the minimum payment on Chase. The cash advance fee was $50, plus the interest rate is 27.99%. I did the math. If I keep going like this, I'll owe $20,000 by the end of the year. I've been getting cash advances to make it look like I still have income, depositing them into checking, then transferring them right back out to pay bills. The interest is killing me, but I didn't want you to know. I didn't want you to see me as a burden." She showed me her last credit card statement. The minimum payment was $125, but the interest charge that month was $112. She was barely making a dent. I felt like someone had punched me in the chest. "A burden? Lena, we're partners. Are we, though?" She looked at me with this expression I'd never seen before. Pure anguish. "Because I don't feel like a partner. I feel like someone you have to take care of, and I can't stand it. Every time you'd ask me how work was, I wanted to die inside. Every time I saw you transfer money for rent, knowing I was barely holding on financially, it killed me. So you lied instead. You pushed me away." "Yes, because I was ashamed." She stood up, pacing now. "Do you know what it's like to watch everyone around you succeed while you're failing? To see your boyfriend making good money, advancing in his career while you can't even get hired for an entry-level position? I didn't want you to look at me the way I look at myself. And how's that? Like I'm worthless." The word hung in the air between us. I tried to reach for her, but she stepped back. "Lena, I would never. You say that now. But what about when I can't contribute to rent? What about when you have to pay for everything because I'm broke? How long until you start resenting me? How long until you realize you can do better? Is that really what you think of me?" I was angry now, actually angry. "You think I'd leave you because you lost your job? You think I'm that shallow? I think you deserve someone who has their shit together." She was crying harder. "And right now, that's not me." We stood there, both of us breathing hard, both of us hurting. "The worst part," I said, my voice shaking, "isn't the debt or the job loss. It's that you thought you had to handle it alone. It's that you didn't trust me enough to let me help you." "It's not about trust." "Yes, it is." I was yelling now, couldn't help it. "You trusted me with your heart, but not your problems. What kind of relationship is that?" She grabbed her purse. "I can't do this right now." "Where are you going?" "My mom's. I need space to think. Running away won't solve anything. Neither will staying here." She was at the door. "I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry I'm not who you thought I was." Then she was gone. I sat there on the couch for probably 2 hours just staring at nothing. My phone buzzed a few times, texts from her saying she got to her mom safely, that she needed a few days, that she was sorry. I didn't respond. Here's what kills me. I wasn't mad about the job. I wasn't even mad about the debt. I was mad that she'd suffered alone for almost 2 months, thinking I'd judge her, thinking I'd leave her, thinking she wasn't good enough for me. What kind of relationship did we really have if she believed that? It felt like she didn't even know me at all. Final update. After Lena left, I spent the whole weekend thinking, really thinking, and I realized something. She wasn't wrong to be scared. Not because I'd actually leave her, but because I'd never shown her that I wouldn't. Let me explain. Our whole relationship, I'd been the stable one. The one with the good job, the career trajectory, the financial security. And I'd never thought about what that might feel like for her. To always be the one who made less, contributed less, had less to offer. I'd never asked her about her work stress or her financial anxiety. I just assumed she was fine because she never said otherwise. So Sunday night, I texted her. I'm not mad at you for losing your job. I'm not mad about the debt. I'm mad because I love you and you were hurting and I didn't know. But I should have known. I should have made you feel safe enough to tell me. She called me an hour later, crying. We talked for 3 hours. Lena told me everything, how she'd felt inadequate for months even before the layoff, how the job loss confirmed her worst fears about herself, how every rejection email felt like proof she was worthless. I didn't want you to see me like that, she said. I wanted to fix it before you found out. But that's not how this works, I told her. You don't have to be perfect for me to love you. We agreed to meet up Tuesday evening at the coffee shop where we had our second date. But I didn't wait until then to start helping. Monday morning, I called my friend Steve, who works in HR at a mid-sized tech company. Asked him about resume reviews, interview prep, what hiring managers actually look for, job market trends for marketing roles. He sent me a bunch of resources, a resume template that actually worked, a list of common interview questions with tips on how to answer them, even contact info for a recruiter he knew who specialized in marketing placements. When Lena and I met Tuesday, I brought my laptop and a folder of printouts. The place was packed, but we found a corner table in the back. She looked tired, dark circles under her eyes like she hadn't slept much at her mom's. I'm not trying to take over, I said before she could say anything, but I want to help, if you'll let me. She was hesitant at first, arms crossed defensively. Ryan, I can handle, I know you can, but you don't have to handle it alone anymore. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We spent that evening at going through her resume line by line. She'd been applying to everything, throwing spaghetti at the wall hoping something would stick. Entry-level positions she was overqualified for, senior positions she didn't have enough experience for, random industries she had no interest in. We narrowed her focus to content strategy and digital marketing roles, things she'd be actually good at and interested in, where her experience would shine. Rewrote her resume to highlight her campaign work and analytics experience. She'd buried all her best achievements under generic bullet points. We worked until the coffee shop closed at 9 p.m. The barista had to politely kick us out. The debt was trickier. Wednesday evening, she came back to the apartment for the first time since the fight. We sat at the kitchen table, and she broke down showing me her credit card statements. The minimum payments, the interest charges, the late fees she'd racked up. One card had a 28% APR. Another had $35 late fees from 2 months ago that she'd never been able to catch up on. I feel so stupid, she said, crying into her hands. I have a college degree and I can't even manage 3 credit cards. You're not stupid. You were in crisis mode trying to survive, but we can fix this. I pulled out a notebook and started making a plan. We called the credit card companies together. I stayed on speaker, let her do the talking, but was there for support. She explained her situation, lost her job, actively searching, wanted to negotiate a lower interest rate. 2 out of 3 agreed to temporary hardship rates. Chase dropped her from 24% to 15% for 6 months. Capital One wouldn't budge, but we made a plan to tackle that one first, pay more than the minimum. I didn't offer to pay it off. That's not what she needed. She needed to feel capable of handling it herself. but I helped her set up a realistic payment schedule, $400 a month instead of just minimums, which would have the debt gone in about 2 years instead of 5. We'd split some expenses differently so she'd have the cash flow once she got a job. This is going to take time, I told her, but you can do it, and I'll be here while you do. The job hunt took longer than either of us expected. She had 3 more interviews that went nowhere. Each rejection hit her hard, and I had to resist the urge to fix it for her. Interview 5, sustainable clothing brand. She prepared for days. Rejection came 3 days later. She didn't leave the bedroom that day. Interview 6, healthcare startup. Another rejection. Interview 7, they had her do 4 hours of unpaid work creating a sample campaign. She spent a whole weekend on it. They sent a 1-line rejection without acknowledging her work. Maybe I should look for something else like retail or admin work, she said that night. You're good at marketing, I told her. These companies just don't deserve you, but one will. Then 2 weeks ago, something clicked. She interviewed at LearnPath, an education tech startup, for a content strategist position. First interview with the hiring manager went well. Second interview with the whole marketing team. They asked her to present a mock campaign. She spent 3 days preparing. I think it went well, she said afterward. They were tough but fair. The hiring manager called the next day. Lena put it on speaker, hands shaking. Hi Lena, it's Patricia from LearnPath. We'd love to offer you the content strategist position. $72K, full benefits, start a week from Monday if that works. Lena cried, happy tears. I did it. I actually did it. The salary was better than her old job, $72K instead of $65K. She started the new job last Monday. First day, she left at 7:30 a.m. in a new blazer. I picked her up at 6 p.m. She came out looking lighter than I'd seen her in months. Ryan, the team is amazing. Patricia gave me a tour. My desk is by a window, and I'm leading the campaign for their Q2 product launch. At my old job, I had to fight for every idea. Here they actually value them. She couldn't stop smiling. By week 3, she was talking about long-term strategy and career growth, which brings me to yesterday. I've been carrying the ring around for a week, waiting for the right moment. Not because of the job. She didn't need a job for me to want to marry her, but I wanted her to feel good about herself first. Saturday morning, I suggested we go for a walk in Golden Gate Park. We drove to the park, parked near Stowe Lake. Do you remember where we had our first date? I asked. She laughed. That bench by the rose garden. You brought wine in plastic cups. I was trying to be romantic. You spilled wine on your shirt. You pretended not to notice. We sat down on that same bench. Do you remember what you told me that day? I asked. She smiled. I told you I was going to take over the marketing world. Yeah, and you know what I thought? This woman doesn't need me, but I really hope she wants me anyway. She laughed. Ryan, where are you going with this? I got down on one knee. A couple of joggers stopped to watch. Lena, these last 2 months have been hell, but they showed me something important. You thought losing your job made you less worthy of love. You thought debt made you a burden. You thought you had to be perfect for me to stay. I pulled out the ring. But here's what I learned. I don't want to build a life with someone who's perfect. I want to build a life with someone who's real. Someone who fights through hard times. Someone brave enough to be vulnerable. That's you. That's always been you. Will you marry me? She nodded, couldn't get words out at first. Then, yes, God, yes. We sat on that bench for another hour, just holding each other. Later that night, she posted in our private friend group chat, I'm engaged. He saw me at my absolute worst and decided that's exactly who he wants to spend his life with. Her friend Monica responded, about damn time. You two have been disgustingly in love since day one. So yeah, we're getting married. She's killing it at her new job. She's making payments on her debt and feeling good about it. We're in couples counseling to work on communication and trust. To everyone who commented on my posts over the past month, thank you. Some of you told me to dump her. Some told me to grow up. Some told me exactly what I needed to hear. The truth is, relationships aren't about staying together when things are easy. They're about staying together when things are hard and choosing each other anyway. Lena is the strongest person I know. Not because she never fails, but because she keeps going even when she does. And I'm the luckiest guy in the world because she said yes.